From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, December 2nd, 2015. Silver is trading at $14.07 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,061 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $354. Antiwar.com reports Germany's cabinet has signed off on a plan to send aircraft, a frigate, and 1,200 troops to the Middle East to fight the Islamic State. The troops are said to be non-combat, and it is widely expected the parliament will approve this in a vote in the next day or two. The move comes just a week after Germany announced its intentions to send 650 ground troops to Mali to fight alongside French troops there. In the wake of the Paris attacks, German officials say they believe more international deployments are militarily necessary. Opposition figures are critical, however, with Green Party chairwoman Simone Peter saying the deployment is legally dubious without UN authorization, has no political goal or apparent endgame. The German military's Armed Services Association similarly expressed discomfort with the lack of clearly defined goals, saying it could mean the war lasts 10 years or more. Polls suggest Germany is split roughly down the middle on the deployment, but that a strong majority believes sending troops against the Islamic State would significantly increase the threat of attacks inside Germany. If you're fed up with the government running every aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, what's wrong with you? Go right now to thelavaflow.com/listen. The Lava Flow podcast, channeling the flow of information to the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, voluntarist, and agorist community. Subscribe today using any podcatcher at thelavaflow.com/listen, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every episode. UPI reports House Republican leaders say they're confident that the $1.1 trillion spending bill now on the table will be approved by the deadline of December 11th, averting a government shutdown. In a closed-door meeting of Republican members of the House, Speaker Paul Ryan worked to keep members unified, telling them, "Keep your schedules flexible because we're not going to allow Democrats to use the calendar against us." The comments reflect Ryan's interest in a short-term funding bill if Democrats elect to delay proceedings, as well as his desire to discourage conflict within the party. Ryan also predicted there would be no shutdown owing to some Republicans' desire to see Planned Parenthood defunded. He is encouraging GOP members of the House to vote in favor of the $1.1 trillion spending bill to fund all operations of the federal government for another year. Passage of the bill is Ryan's first major test as Speaker. Prior spending bills under the leadership of former Speaker John Boehner were typically made available to members of Congress only at the last minute, and conservative GOP members removed from the process often voted against the bill and against Boehner's leadership. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Puerto Rico made a crucial debt payment on Tuesday, but warned that its deteriorating finances could trigger future defaults as the governor granted the U.S. territory power to take revenues from public agencies. There had been speculation as to whether Puerto Rico would default on all or part of the $355 million note issued by its financing arm, the Government Development Bank. The U.S. territory said in a statement that it made the December 1st bond payment despite extreme fiscal challenges. While Puerto Rico first defaulted in August, failure to make the payment on Tuesday would have been more significant because part of that debt was protected by the Commonwealth's Constitution. Another default could have triggered lawsuits, further spooked investors, and undermined the island's effort to climb out of $72 billion in debt and forced it to take drastic measures to keep public services running. Rating agency Moody's said they would continue to view default as likely on future Commonwealth's debt payments. Moody's also said Puerto Rico's next scheduled payment of $945 million is due on January 1st and includes $363 million in general obligation debt services. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.